Did you know that some of the things you do every day might be stealing years from your life? In this special video, you'll uncover the 13 bad habits that are making you age faster than you think. The last one will surprise you. But before we dive in, I want you to pay close attention to this story. It will be crucial to understanding the key lesson of this video. In a remote Japanese village, famous for its centenarian residents, lived an elderly man named Takeshi. At 95 years old, he had more energy than many young people and a mind as clear as spring water. Visitors from far and wide came to ask him his secret. One day, a curious traveler asked, "Takeshi, how do you manage to stay so young and full of life?" Takeshi smiled and replied, "It's not about complicated formulas or magical secrets. My longevity is due to avoiding the small habits that, day by day, wear down your body and spirit." Intrigued, the traveler pressed further. "And what are those habits?" Takeshi looked at him calmly and said, "They are things you do without realizing. Neglecting your sleep, living in constant stress, eating mindlessly. These small mistakes are the real thieves of time." Inspired by Takeshi's wisdom, today I'm going to reveal the 13 habits you might be engaging in that are making you age faster. Ready to find out what they are? Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more life-changing advice. Let's get started. The first habit that ages us faster is lack of sleep. Many people view sleeping less as a sign of productivity, but let me tell you this, every sleepless night is like stealing a piece of your youth. Think of your body as a magical factory that repairs itself. During sleep, this factory works at full speed, regenerating cells, consolidating memories, and renewing your energy. But when you don't get enough sleep, it's like turning off the lights in the factory before the work is done. Lack of sleep doesn't just leave you with dark circles. It severely impacts cellular regeneration, that magical process that keeps your body young and vital. Your skin suffers, producing less collagen, leading to more wrinkles, and your brain isn't spared either. Without enough rest, your neurons can't clean the toxins accumulated during the day. A fascinating study published in the journal Sleep revealed that people who slept less than 6 hours a night had shorter telomeres. And what are telomeres? They're like protective caps at the ends of our chromosomes, and their length is directly linked to our biological age. In other words, sleeping poorly is literally making you age faster at a cellular level. But all is not lost. The good news is that you can reverse some of this damage simply by sleeping more. How much is enough? Longevity experts, like Dr. Matthew Walker, author of Why We Sleep, recommend 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night for most adults. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I have so much to do, how can I sleep that much? Think of it this way. Sleep is not a luxury. It's an investment in your health and future. It's like depositing money in your youth bank account. Every night of good sleep is a deposit that will keep you younger, more alert, and more productive in the long run. So, the next time you're tempted to stay up late working, binge-watching a series, or scrolling through your phone, remember, you're trading hours of youth for minutes of leisure or work. Is it really worth it? But beware, sleep isn't the only habit stealing your youth. In fact, there's another silent thief that could be speeding up your biological clock right now, even as you listen to this: stress. Imagine your body as a machine in constant operation. What do you think would happen if you never turn it off? Exactly. It would wear out much faster. Well, that's what we're doing to our bodies with the frantic pace of modern life. We live in a state of constant alert. From the moment the alarm clock rings until we go to bed, we're bombarded with stimuli, responsibilities, and worries. Our body interprets all this as a continuous threat, keeping our fight or flight system activated without rest. The problem is that this chronic stress doesn't just make us feel exhausted, it's literally aging us at a cellular level. How? Through a hormone called cortisol. When we're stressed, our body releases cortisol, which in small doses can be beneficial. But when stress becomes chronic, cortisol starts attacking our telomeres. Remember the telomeres we talked about in the sleep section? Those tiny structures that protect our chromosomes are extremely sensitive to cortisol. Chronic stress makes our telomeres shorten faster, which translates into accelerated aging. But not all is lost. In fact, let's do a little experiment right now. Close your eyes, get comfortable, and take 5 deep, mindful breaths. Inhale through your nose, counting to 4, hold the air for 2 seconds, and exhale slowly through your mouth, counting to 6. Did you do it? Did you notice any change? This simple breathing exercise can instantly reduce your cortisol levels. Imagine the impact if you incorporated practices like this into your daily routine. A study published in the Journal of Aging Research found that people with high levels of chronic stress had telomeres that appeared 9 to 17 years older than their chronological age. It's as if stress is stealing a decade of our life. So, is there a way to vaccinate ourselves against stress? The good news is yes. We can't completely eliminate stress from our lives, but we can change our relationship with it. Techniques like meditation, regular exercise, and practicing gratitude have proven to be powerful allies in managing stress. Psychologist Kelly McGonigal, in her book, The Upside of Stress, invites us to see stress not as an enemy, but as an indicator that something matters to us. By changing our perception of stress, we can transform its impact on our bodies. So the next time you feel stress consuming you, remember, you have the power to turn this thief of youth into your ally. Deep breaths, a walk outdoors, or simply pausing to appreciate the little things can be your secret weapons in the battle against premature aging. Speaking of protection, the next habit we'll explore is a natural shield against the passage of time. Are you ready to discover how what you put on your plate can be your best defense against aging? We are what we eat, says the saying. But what if I told you that we also age based on how we eat? In our busy lives, fast and processed food has become a constant. It's easy, it's quick, and it's everywhere. But have you ever wondered what it's really doing to your body? Imagine for a moment that your body is like a perfectly designed machine. Every food you consume is the fuel that keeps it running. Processed foods are like low-quality fuel that leaves residue and damages the engine. They directly affect your DNA and cells, causing you to age faster than you should. But don't worry, it's not about eating broccoli and chicken every day. That's a myth I want to debunk right here and now. A healthy diet can be delicious and varied. I myself enjoy a balanced diet that includes carbs like pasta and rice, proteins from red meat, fish and poultry, and healthy fats like nuts. The key is to choose natural foods and not deprive yourself of anything. A study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association revealed that people who followed a Mediterranean diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats, had longer telomeres. Remember the telomeres? Those are the indicators of cellular youth we discussed earlier. A healthy diet literally keeps you young on a cellular level. Let me share something personal. 2 years ago, I lived without much organization. I had no idea what I was putting into my body, but when I started going to the gym, I began eating better and following a balanced diet. And you know what? My life completely changed. I became more disciplined in all areas. I started doing things that, even though I didn't feel like doing them at the moment, I knew would eventually be good for me. I learned to make decisions that, while challenging, brought me closer to my goals. Everything, from my health to my mindset, started improving in ways I never imagined. Here's a practical tip. The week has 7 days, and there are 3 main meals each day. It's okay if one meal isn't perfect. It's about balance. Start eating well and you'll notice how you feel more energized and nourished. This reflects in every aspect of your life. There's a phrase I love that changed my perspective. A person who cannot control what they eat cannot control their life in all its aspects. Think of a successful person you admire. Are they fit or are they overweight? Most of the time, successful people take care of their diet because they understand its importance. So, I invite you to start today. It's not about a restrictive diet, but about making conscious choices. Every bite matters. Every meal is an opportunity to nourish your body and keep it young. Are you ready to use your fork as a rejuvenation tool? Even so, a balanced diet is useless if you don't move your body. The 4th habit that destroys your health is a sedentary lifestyle. Imagine that every hour you spend sitting is like smoking a cigarette for your body. Sounds exaggerated, right? Well, science has something surprising to say about it. Modern life has turned us into sedentary beings. We spend hours in front of screens, in cars, or simply lounging on the couch. But this seemingly comfortable lifestyle has a hidden cost. It's accelerating our aging process. Have you noticed how you feel after an entire day sitting down? That stiffness in your muscles, that feeling of lethargy. Now multiply that by years. It's not just your body that suffers, your mind also pays the price. You feel bad about yourself, disappointed, and that takes a toll on your mental well-being. Lack of movement accelerates both muscular and cognitive deterioration. Your muscles weaken, your metabolism slows down, and your brain loses agility. It's as if your body goes into energy-saving mode, but at the expense of your health and youth. A study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine revealed alarming data. For every hour you spend sitting, you reduce your life expectancy by 22 minutes. Do you realize? The time you think you're saving by not moving is actually being taken from the end of your life. But not all is lost. The question is, how much exercise do we really need to reverse these effects? The good news is that you don't have to become an Olympic athlete. Even small changes can have a big impact. I recommend that you spend at least an hour outside every day. I know it sometimes seems impossible. It happens to me too. I get so busy that I convince myself I don't have time to go out. But let me tell you something. Just like we said earlier that 7 to 8 hours of sleep are non-negotiable, this is the same. It's better to spend an hour outside because you'll come back much more motivated. It's like when you go to the gym feeling down and come back happy. It happens to me a lot. It's the endorphins, the feel-good hormones, doing their job. Depending on your age, you might not be able to exercise much. That's okay. For example, I love running. I started with 2 kilometers and now I'm running 15 kilometers a week. My next goal is 20. But obviously, I'm not telling you to run or anything like that. Even just a walk can work wonders. Go out with friends, step out of your comfort zone. I recommend making new plans every week, something different. Go to the beach with friends or even by yourself. The important thing is to move, change your surroundings, and give your body and mind the stimulus they desperately need. Remember, every step you take is a step toward a longer and healthier life. Don't let your couch become your worst enemy. Get up, move, and feel how your body and mind thank you for it. Before we continue with the 5th habit that accelerates aging, if you're enjoying the video, give it a like and subscribe, activating the bell so you don't miss future videos. Comment, "I love these videos," if you're enjoying this content as much as I am, and let me know what you'd like to see next. I read all your comments. By the way, you can now download my exclusive ebook with the best lessons from the channel via the link in the pinned comment. Let's keep improving together. The 5th habit that ages us is dehydration. Yes, you heard that right. That glass of water you've been putting off could be the key to staying young and vibrant. Many of us underestimate the importance of drinking water regularly. But let me tell you, your body is crying out for it. Imagine your body as a plant. When you don't water it, its leaves wilt, and it loses vitality. The same happens with your body. Chronic dehydration not only makes you feel tired and irritable, but it's literally aging your skin and affecting your vital organs. Do you want to know how lack of water impacts your cells and tissues? Well, when you don't drink enough water, your cells shrink, your skin loses elasticity, and your organs have to work twice as hard. It's like squeezing a dry sponge, it just doesn't work well. A study published in the journal Clinical Cosmetic and Investigational Dermatology revealed that good hydration can significantly reduce signs of aging in the skin. Participants who increased their water intake showed a noticeable improvement in skin elasticity and hydration in just 30 days. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is there a magic amount of water to keep us young? The answer is yes and no. There isn't a one-size-fits-all formula, but experts generally recommend drinking between 2 and 3 liters of water a day, depending on your weight, physical activity, and climate. But don't worry, you don't have to become a water glass counter. Your body has a very simple way of telling you if you're well hydrated. The color of your urine. If it's clear or pale yellow, congratulations, you're on the right track. If it's dark yellow, it's time to turn on the tap. Here's a trick I use. Every time I go to the bathroom, I take the opportunity to drink a glass of water. It's an easy way to stay hydrated without overthinking it. And if you don't like the taste of plain water, try adding slices of lemon, cucumber, or some mint leaves. Not only will it add flavor, but it'll also add antioxidant properties. Remember, staying hydrated isn't just about beauty, it's pure health. Your kidneys, heart, brain, all of them work better when you're well hydrated. So the next time you feel tired or have a headache, before reaching for a pill, try a glass of water. You might be surprised. But beware, even if you're well hydrated, there's one habit that can ruin it all: excessive sun exposure. We live in a culture that worships tanning. We spend hours under the sun seeking that golden tone we associate with health and beauty. But what if I told you that this health is just an illusion? The reality is that every minute you spend under the sun without protection is like rewinding the clock on your youth. The sun's UV rays are like tiny darts piercing your skin and damaging your DNA. Imagine your skin as a protective shield. Every time you expose yourself to the sun without protection, that shield weakens a little more. UV rays penetrate even the deepest layers of your skin, destroying the collagen and elastin that keep it firm and youthful. Did you know that 80% of visible skin aging is due to sun exposure? A study published in the New England Journal of Medicine showed a striking photo of a 69-year-old truck driver. The side of his face exposed to the sun during years of driving looked 20 years older than the side protected by the truck's window. It's as if the sun had stolen 2 decades of youth from just one side of his face. Now, you're probably wondering, is it possible to repair all this accumulated sun damage? The good news is that yes, to some extent it is. Your skin has an amazing ability to regenerate. Products with ingredients like retinol, vitamin C, and hyaluronic acid can help stimulate collagen production and repair some of the damage. But the real key lies in prevention. Using sunscreen daily, even on cloudy days, is like having an invisible shield against aging. And no, you don't have to give up your beach days. Just make sure to use good sunscreen, seek shade, and limit your exposure during peak sun hours. Remember, a tan is nothing more than your skin's desperate response to sun damage. So, the next time you're tempted to bake in the sun, think of your future self. Would you prefer a few days of glow or radiant, youthful skin for years to come? But be warned, the sun isn't the only external factor that ages us. We go from the scorching sun to a toxic cloud. Have you ever wondered why some smokers seem to age overnight? The answer lies in every puff, and it's more surprising than you think. Many people believe smoking only affects the lungs, but the reality is far more alarming. Tobacco is like a silent thief, stealing time from your life with every cigarette. Imagine that each time you smoke, you're rewinding the clock on your youth. Sounds exaggerated, right? Well, get ready, because the facts will leave you breathless. Tobacco doesn't discriminate. It accelerates aging in nearly every organ. Your skin, that calling card you take so much care of, suffers immensely. Cigarette smoke destroys collagen and elastin, leaving you with premature wrinkles and a dull tone. It's as if every puff draws a new line on your face. But that's not all. Your blood vessels also pay the price. Tobacco hardens and narrows them, making circulation more difficult. This not only increases the risk of heart disease, but also robs you of that healthy glow. And let's not even get started on your DNA. Each cigarette is like a small attack on your genes, increasing the risk of mutations and diseases. Want to hear something shocking? A study published in Scientific Reports revealed that smokers have a biological age up to 7 years older than their chronological age. Imagine turning 40, but your body behaves as if it's 47. It's like giving years of your life away to tobacco. Now you're probably wondering, what if I've been smoking for years? Is there hope? The good news is, yes, your body has an amazing ability to recover. Just 20 minutes after your last cigarette, your heart rate and blood pressure start to normalize. Within 24 hours, the risk of a heart attack begins to decrease. But the real magic happens over time. After 1 year of not smoking, your risk of coronary heart disease is cut in half. And in 10 years, your risk of lung cancer drops to half that of a smoker. It's like giving your body a ticket back to youth. Remember, it's never too late to quit smoking. Every cigarette you don't smoke is a gift to your future self. So, the next time you're tempted to light up, think of it as an opportunity to wind the clock of your youth in the right direction. Now then, from toxic smoke, we move to a liquid poison that many consider harmless. Imagine each toast as a small farewell to your youth. Sounds exaggerated, doesn't it? Get ready, because what you're about to learn about alcohol will make you rethink your next drink. In our society, frequent alcohol consumption has become so normalized that we hardly even question it. A glass of wine with dinner, a few beers with friends, seems harmless, right? But what if I told you that each sip is accelerating your body's aging process? Alcohol is like a silent thief, stealing little pieces of your youth without you noticing. It dehydrates your body and damages your cells, making you age faster. Have you ever noticed how you feel the morning after a night out? That fatigue and discomfort aren't just a hangover, it's your body crying out that you're aging it prematurely. Let's look at how it affects different parts of your body. Your liver, that incredible organ that processes everything you consume, suffers the most. Alcohol overwhelms it, causing it to accumulate fat and become inflamed. It's like asking a water filter to clean oil. It's just not designed for that. Your brain isn't spared either. Alcohol disrupts your neurotransmitters and can cause long-term damage to your memory and cognitive abilities. Remember those parts of the night you can't recall? That's not magic. It's your brain showing signs of distress. And let's not forget your skin. Alcohol dehydrates it and deprives it of essential nutrients. Have you noticed how your skin looks after a night of drinking? That pallor and those dark circles are no coincidence. A study published in the British Medical Journal revealed something shocking. People who drink excessively can lose up to 28 years of healthy life. Can you imagine? It's like giving away nearly 3 decades of your life to alcohol. Now you might be wondering, is there a safe level of alcohol consumption? The answer isn't so simple. While some studies suggest very moderate consumption might have certain benefits, the truth is that no level of consumption is completely risk-free. Current recommendations suggest that if you choose to drink, do so in moderation. This means no more than 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 for men. And no, you can't save up your drinks for the weekend. Remember, every time you raise a glass, you're making a choice. Is that moment of pleasure worth your youth and long-term health? The next time you're about to toast, ask yourself if you really want to toast to your lost youth. But beware, even if you don't touch a drop of alcohol, there's another common habit that might be aging you without you realizing it: lack of socialization. In this digital age, where face-to-face interactions have become increasingly rare, social isolation has turned into a silent epidemic. We spend hours scrolling on our phones, believing we're connected, but the reality is we've never been more alone. And that isolation comes at a cost. It's accelerating our aging process. Chronic loneliness doesn't just make you feel emotionally unwell, it's literally aging your brain and weakening your immune system. Imagine your brain as a muscle. Without the exercise of social interaction, it starts to atrophy. Neural connections weaken, and your cognitive abilities decline. It's as if your mind rusts from lack of use. A fascinating study published in the Journal of Health and Social Behavior revealed that people with strong social connections live on average 7.5 years longer than those who are isolated. Do you realize? Your friends could be your fountain of youth. Now, you're probably wondering, how many social interactions do I need to stay young? There's no magic number, but experts suggest having at least 3 meaningful social interactions a day can work wonders for your mental and physical health. Let me share something personal. A few months ago, I decided to challenge myself. I started talking daily to several strangers. Yes, just as you're reading it. At first, it was uncomfortable. I'm naturally introverted, and the idea of starting conversations with strangers made me nervous. But guess what? Over time, I began gaining confidence. I went from being shy and introverted to becoming someone people describe as outgoing. If you're young, I recommend going out to parties, bars, or clubs, not to drink or smoke, but to meet new people. If you're older, look for activities in your community. Join a book club or take classes in something you've always wanted to learn. The important thing is to push yourself to interact. Here's a tip that changed my life. Start giving genuine compliments to people, even strangers. The other day, I saw someone with a beautiful motorcycle. I walked up and said, "What a stunning bike, what model is it?" That simple question turned into a 5-minute conversation. I've met incredible people this way, and some have become great friends. Remember, every interaction is an opportunity to exercise your brain, strengthen your immune system, and yes, stay young. So the next time you're tempted to stay home scrolling through your phone, think twice. Your fountain of youth could be waiting for you in a conversation. But beware, even surrounded by people, there's another silent habit that might be aging us faster than we realize: living without purpose. Imagine for a moment that your life is a grand journey. Now ask yourself, do you really know where you're headed, or are you just letting the current carry you along? Living without purpose is like navigating aimlessly through an endless ocean. It might seem exciting at first, but over time it wears you down faster than you think. It's as if each day becomes a small battle against yourself, without knowing why or for what you're fighting. Philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "Who has a why to live can bear almost any how." And he was right. When you have a clear purpose, every obstacle becomes an exciting challenge, every failure a valuable lesson. But without that why, even the smallest setback can feel like an insurmountable mountain. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to age more slowly? It's not magic or genetics, it's purpose. A study conducted by researchers at Rush University in Chicago found that people with a strong sense of purpose in life were 30% less likely to die during the 8-year follow-up period. But don't worry if you haven't found your big purpose yet. It's not about having a grand mission to change the world. Sometimes, purpose can be as simple as being the best parent you can be, learning something new every day, or just making someone smile. Psychologist Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, wrote in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, "Life is not primarily a quest for pleasure, as Freud believed, or a quest for power, as Alfred Adler taught, but a quest for meaning. And that meaning, that purpose, is your greatest ally against premature aging." So here's a small exercise for you. Tonight, before you go to bed, ask yourself, what excites me? What makes me feel alive? Don't look for grand answers. Sometimes purpose is hidden in the simplest things. Remember, living with purpose doesn't mean having everything figured out. It's more like having a compass in the middle of a storm. You might not know exactly where you'll end up, but at least you know the direction in which you're headed. And who knows, you might discover that your purpose is simply to live each day to the fullest, appreciating every moment and constantly growing. After all, as poet Robert Frost said, the best way out is always through. Habit number 11, ignoring medical checkups. Ignoring medical checkups is like driving a car without regular maintenance. At first everything seems fine, but suddenly, bam! You find yourself in the middle of the road with the engine smoking. Your body is not much different. Those small problems you ignore today could turn into big headaches tomorrow. But be careful, it's not about living at the doctor's office. The key is balance. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, once said, "Let food be thy medicine, and let thy medicine be food." And he was right. Before running for pills, ask yourself, am I taking care of my body the way I should? A recent study from Harvard University revealed that people who have regular checkups live, on average, 2.5 years longer than those who ignore them. Can you imagine? You could gain years of life just by dedicating a few hours each year to your health. Now, it's not about taking medication like candy. Always try to address your health naturally first. Headache? Before taking a pill, try drinking more water, resting, or doing light exercise. Digestive problems? Maybe it's time to review your diet instead of relying on antacids. I challenge you, schedule your next medical checkup today. And while you wait for your appointment, make a list of those small discomforts you've been ignoring. You might discover that some of them have simpler solutions than you thought. Remember, your body is the vehicle that will take you through the rest of your life. Treat it like you would a luxury car, with care, attention, and regular maintenance. That way, not only will you go farther, but you'll enjoy the journey much more. Now let's move on to habit number 12, excessive screen exposure. The blue light emitted by our electronic devices not only affects our sleep, but can also accelerate the aging of our skin and eyes. Remember when we talked about sedentary behavior? Well, excessive screen exposure is like its evil twin. It not only keeps us still, but also bombards us with light that our bodies aren't designed to process in large quantities. But the problem goes beyond the physical. Have you noticed how you feel after hours of scrolling on your phone? That feeling of emptiness and anxiety isn't a coincidence. We're spending more time looking at other people's lives than building our own. It's as if we live in a parallel reality, one that steals time and energy from the real world. And speaking of stealing time, what about using your phone before bed? That last glance at social media could be costing you hours of restorative sleep. The blue light tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, disrupting your circadian rhythm and thus accelerating your aging. But there's something that worries me even more. Children. I see younger and younger kids glued to screens. I've even seen 2-year-olds watching their parents' phone at a restaurant. How far have we come? I got my first phone when I was 11, and honestly, now I think I wish I had waited until I was 15. I miss those afternoons when my friends and I would go out to play soccer or hide and seek. Now all the kids are on their phones, and that's our fault, the society we've created. We are stealing their childhood, those moments of play and discovery that are crucial for their development. What can we do? To start, read a good book. Go for a walk. Call a friend. Life behind the screen is fake, but the time we lose is very real. Put social media down for a day and see how you feel. You'll probably notice a difference in your mood and energy. Remember, every minute you spend glued to a screen is a minute you're not fully living. It's a minute you could be using to create memories, to move, to connect with others in a real way. So, the next time you feel the temptation to dive into the digital world, ask yourself, am I building my life or just watching someone else's? And we come to the last habit, and for me, undoubtedly the most important. It's something we often overlook, but it has an immense impact on our health and happiness. Think about the last time you laughed until your stomach hurt. How long has it been? If you can't remember, you might be aging faster than you think. The lack of laughter and fun isn't just a mood problem, it's a habit that accelerates aging in ways you can't imagine. Sometimes we get angry and shout, forgetting to see the beauty in life. But you know what? That attitude is stealing years from your life. Look, these past months have been tough for me. This year, overall, has definitely been my best year in terms of personal growth and achievements, but also the hardest. I've experienced many new things, and that comes with many problems to solve, sometimes not even knowing how to solve them. And if there's one thing that's helped me during these difficult times, it's being with friends, family, and loved ones. When you're with them, you see everything from a different perspective. That's why I always say it's essential to surround yourself with positive people who help you achieve your goals. You are the average of the 5 people around you. And this is not just a nice saying, it's the absolute truth. Your life's success and happiness depend greatly on your environment. Too much, I'd say. That's why it's crucial to surround yourself with valuable people and let go of those who don't contribute or value you as you deserve. Your social circle not only influences your mood, but also your health and longevity. Studies have shown that laughing regularly can strengthen your immune system, reduce stress, and improve your cardiovascular health. It's like exercise for your body and mind, but much more fun. When you laugh, you release endorphins, the so-called happiness hormones, which not only make you feel good, but also have anti-aging effects. So, how can we incorporate more laughter and fun into our lives? Start by actively seeking moments of joy. Watch that comedy that always makes you laugh. Spend time with friends who make you feel good, or try something new and exciting. Fun doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes, the simplest moments are the ones that make us laugh the most. Remember, life is a journey, and it's up to us to make it as enjoyable as possible. More than habits to prevent aging, these are principles we should all follow to live this journey called life in the best possible way. If you've made it this far, write "long and happy life" in the comments so I'll know who the victorious ones are who made it to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more content like this in the future. Share this video with your loved ones so they can implement this wisdom starting today. And remember to click the link in the pinned comment to get the exclusive ebook from the channel. Big hugs, and see you in the next video.